You could be anywhere doing anything, but you're hanging out with us. And we appreciate that. So wherever you're listening and however you're listening, we appreciate you guys for listening. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Game Plan Podcast. Alex Goodwin is my name. You can follow me on Twitter at Alex Goodwin TSM. Again, that's on Twitter at Alex Goodwin TSM. That's T as in tacos, S as in sangria, M as in margaritas. Kennedy Miller.
What's up, fellas?
Where can the folks find you on Twitter, dog?
You can find me on Twitter at _Kennedy Miller _. Again, that's _Kennedy Miller _.
All right. Lamar Gafford, Sin Live Preps. Big dog, how you doing?
I'm good. The Denver Nuggets just won themselves a championship, and you know how we celebrate? 20-piece chicken McNuggets.
Wait, hold on, Lamar. You still go to McDonald's?
Yes, I do.
Did you have a coupon? Did you have a deal, a teacher's discount, the teacher appreciation week down there in Louisiana?
So the app has, you can get 20-piece chicken McNuggets with 2 any size fries. And so I usually get some of that, get myself a large drink to go along with that. There you go.
Hey man, I ain't gonna lie.
$10.
Hey man, I ain't gonna lie to you. You said you had the app. That's a level of dedication I, Alex Goodwin, do not have. Okay.
I don't need it.
Because look, man, I had to give that McDonald's ministry up after college. I said, we ain't gotta live like this no more. It ain't like I got more money, but treat yourself a little bit better.
I was living like that in New Mexico. So I feel what you're saying, Lamar.
Thank you.
I feel what you're saying.
Somebody got me. Somebody got me at least.
Hey man, look, that McDonald's down near Prairie View needs to be shut down. Okay, they need to send the health department down there. Somebody. You know the one I'm talking about, Kennedy Miller. You know the one.
Yes, I do.
Shut it down. Shut it down. Send the health department. Send the Lord. Send somebody. Okay? But you know what got sent to the Denver Nuggets tonight? That Larry O'Brien trophy, because they won Game 5 of these NBA Finals, 94-89 to win their first NBA championship. The big Serbian Nikola Jokic, NBA Finals MVP, 28 points, 16 rebounds. So, guys, first thoughts on game number 5.
I just think that kind of like we've been saying these past couple of games that Miami has fought hard, but they just didn't have that extra oomph. Like they are really good in these grinded out games, kind of like a game like tonight and closing it out. But you can tell that they just didn't have that extra guy that could make a play when it was needed. Because you had some big time plays by Kyle Lowry, that might not show up on the stat sheet, like a couple of those offensive rebounds, being the smallest guy in there. To get some of those. And then, it always kind of seems like those superstars, whenever they show that they're having a bad game, like it shows that Jimmy Butler only has 8 points and then he scores like 9 straight points out of nowhere to kind of put them back in the game. I thought that was, I thought that was key to them getting back in the game. But I mean, down the stretch, Denver just had all these options, right? Like, we're really just going to let you dictate what we do, and then we're just going to feed off of that. So, like, you want to switch the screen, and we'll just dump it to Jokic, and you can get a post entry, and you can finish in the post. Or if you miss and Aaron Gordon get the board, Bruce Brown get the board, KCP is going to knock down a 3. So, I mean, it's really, pick your poison with them. And it just felt like this was the final, like Miami was just pulling straws, and this was like the final straw. And there was nothing else left. There was nothing else left in the cabin for them to pull out. So credit to them for winning the game. It was a competitive series. They lost in 5, but for the most part, it was competitive. I actually enjoyed it. It wasn't a lot of like narratives that we usually have, which kind of hurt shows like us because we talk about a lot of, like legacy talk and where people rank. But, down the stretch of these games, it has been very fun to watch for the most part. So credit to the Nuggets because for most of the year, they were the best team in the West. And, were one of the best teams of the league and proved that they deserved that title of winning the 2023 NBA championship.
I mean, for me, I'm gonna say this, right? The Miami Heat went one-on-one with the Undertaker. Like, let's be honest about it. You know what I'm talking about? Like, they played a team that the Denver Nuggets did not have to play their best game to beat the Miami Heat.
No.
The Miami Heat had to be damn near perfect to compete.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, think about all it took for them to win game number 2. You know what I'm saying? In a night like tonight, where at one point Denver was 1 for 18 from the 3-point line, and it was only a 6-point game. Denver played maybe the worst half of basketball they've played in the entire playoffs, and they were only down 5 or 6 points at halftime. And Miami's doing literally everything that they can, right? So at a certain point, you figure, okay, they're going to get a couple of buckets from this guy, that guy, right? Jamal Murray only had 15 points. I think he was 6 of 14 from the floor. There aren't that many teams that can win games such as this, on nights such as this, when your second best player is 6 for 14 from the floor. Aaron Gordon, 4 points. But when you have a Bruce Brown, you have a Jeff Green that can give you spot minutes here and there. You have KCP who's going to take and make big shots, and then active defensively. Some of down, like Jimmy Butler, I think Max Strus, they had a couple like breakaways that should have been easy layups, easy dunks. KCP's chasing them down, knocking the ball out of Jimmy Butler's hands, chasing it down in contests. Like, those are championship type plays. And I think down the stretch for Miami, they just were tired, right? And you could tell Jimmy Butler was tired.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you guys noticed it. There were possessions where I almost did the thing where I do with James Harden in some of those closeout games. Like, let's just sit here and watch James. And watch James stand here in the corner with his hands on his knees. Or that last year when Chris Paul was in Houston, Chris Paul is dribbling the ball and James is at half court gassed. It didn't look quite the same, but Jimmy Butler was standing over in the corner. In the biggest game of the year, he's so exhausted where they're running pin downs and plays for Max Strus. But they've got Kyle Lowry, who at this point is a backup NBA point guard. He's the one handling and taking some of these tough shots. Or they're having to have Duncan Robinson do it. You know what I mean? Miami they tried. They tried their absolute best. But in the end, I think everyone knew from the beginning, it took Miami a whole lot to get here, but it was going to take even that much more for them to win. And at this point, having to stay locked in every night for 2 months straight, it's a little too much to ask. Lamar, is that making sense?
Yeah, it does. And they did as well as an 8 seed that you could have predicted an 8 seed to do. I mean, they beat 2 of the prohibitive final favorites in the East in the Bucks and the Celtics. They beat an up and coming good Knicks team. They just, like you said, they just ran out of gas against a very good team in the Nuggets here, who really solidified themselves as a lot of people weren't sure were they going to be a team that was going to go all the way this year, and that they did it and everything. I know a lot of people were talking about Jimmy, especially those last 2 possessions there where, he drew the ball away. And of course the 3-point shot that he missed there in that case. And I saw on the timeline, a lot of people like saying, that's a bad shot by Jimmy. That's a bad shot by Jimmy. And granted, it might have been, but if we look at Game 7 for the Eastern Conference Finals from last year, Jimmy has not been shy of, all right, I'm just going to take a 3-point shot. We win, we win. We lose, we will lose. But damn it, you can't say I didn't try. And so, I got to give it to him. That's his MO. That's what he's known for. That's what he does. But all in this, hats off again to the Nuggets, because the Nuggets, man, they took that championship. They deserve it. None of the games, even though the games were close, we definitely knew who the better team was out there.
And can I ask a question, sidebar? Can we send a U-Haul or the police to Joel Embiid's house to go get that MVP back and then mail that to Denver? Okay, because I don't think I'll ever forgive Kendrick Perkins and JJ Redick for that one segment on First Take, and all of a sudden, the MVP goes to Embiid.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of felt like Embiid did deserve it. Now the thing is, I don't think it was because I think it was an unnecessary take because Jokic won the last 2 MVPs that he doesn't deserve this one. Because I do feel like this was his actual best season out of the 3 seasons that he's had, not just because they won the championship, but I thought what he was doing during the regular season, he deserves MVP praise. And I think Embiid did too. It's just unfortunate that they didn't get there to be able to go against each other, because obviously that would have been a better matchup than Bam, who played a very good series. Bam played a very good series, but they were just undersized. Like, Bam is somebody that like you would like to put on Aaron Gordon, and then you have somebody bigger to guard Jokic. Like, if they had played Milwaukee, then you got Brook Lopez guarding Jokic and Giannis guarding Aaron Gordon, or they go small. They have Giannis that can guard Jokic and Bobby Portis that's guarding Aaron Gordon. Like, they had size. Philly could have done Embiid and PJ, or Embiid and Tobias on Aaron Gordon, but the Heat really didn't have an answer for Jokic and Aaron Gordon in at the same time, along with Aaron Gordon being your 4th best player.
Something like it.
Yeah, so you still got to account for Jamal Murray and Michael Porter. One thing that I saw that I found interesting is with Nikola Jokic winning the Finals MVP, it is only 7 active players who have a Finals MVP that are in the NBA right now.
Finals MVP?
Yes.
Let's see if, all right, we got Jokic,
Yes.
Giannis,
Yes.
Kawhi,
Mm-hmm.
LeBron,
Steph.
Oh, Steph. Steph, KD, and Iguodala still counts.
That's it.
Okay, that was about to say.
Like, we're still counting Iguodala. Okay.
That is it.
Yo, this is how you know, like, the NBA, like, I almost went into the torch has almost been passed, right? Because LeBron at his advanced stage at this point, right? Like, this is the turning of a new guard, right? Giannis, Jokic, this is the beginning of a new generation. And I do want to, start going to some of these fan questions, because we got a lot of fan questions and comments, and we appreciate your comments in the chat. Y'all put in y'all have tonight. Thank you. We'll start with the homie Stone. Who do y'all view as the greatest threat to the Nuggets repeating as champs next year? The champagne ain't even been popped yet. We already talked about it. Sheesh. Man. I mean, the West is rough.
Yeah, I mean, wow.
We would like to think, well, we got to see what happens with NBA YoungBoy. Now that's the next biggest thing that we're waiting on. Ja playing around with these toy guns. Didn't they say it was a toy or something?
That's what
they said.
Trying to say, yeah.
We don't know what's going to happen with that. LeBron's 111. We'll see how long he can keep the car on the road. Phoenix, we'll see with them. The Clippers, if they can keep people healthy, we'll see. Like,
we've been talking about this for a long time.
And I was gonna say, and the Pelicans, they might be trying to move up for Scoot Henderson, and maybe they can keep Zion away from all the extracurricular activities he's been engaged in. Just keep him away from Mariah Mills. Keep Mariah Mills away from her Twitter, okay? Because sidebar. She seems like she on that Mario Winans, I don't want to know if you playing me. Like, is she getting in the tub with her clothes on? Staring at pictures of Zion in that other woman next to the review. What is happening with that, bro?
Oh, no. That's nuts. Because it was like a number. They said she's tweeted about him like a record number in some span, but it was like close to like 1,000. Like it's unbelievable.
Hey, bro, remember people used to get sent to Twitter jail?
Yes, she needs to be locked up immediately.
And you know what? I've done my journalistic duties here. I've seen her timeline right now. She's also recently sent another tweet to Zion 9 minutes ago, while we were on the air.
Yes. Well, Zion, this is sad. A deleted tweet from somebody allegedly Pelicans NBA. Oh God. Jesus Christ. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. You know what she's on right now? She's on that deep voice dude from Boys to Men level, into the road level steeds. I ain't out here willing to cheat on you and embarrass me. But hey, Zion, I love you anyway. This is what she doing.
Yep.
Zion might need to call the law. Okay, because this woman's gonna be outside of his house if she don't have a low jack on the car.
Can you imagine her at the next Pelicans home opener or something like that, chaining herself towards the the scoreboard, or the scores table,
like them
just like none of these games happening.
Like the folks doing the protest in Minnesota, was it last year? That woman was running on the court.
We need to have Jim Ross ready for the first game. My God, it's Mariah Mills.
Oh, she's walking. She's talking. Oh, man. But Lord knows. Look, Lord knows what's going on with Zion. But I did read something today on The Athletic that said they are trying to pick up Scoot Henderson. If they don't have to trade anything, like give up anything like substantive other than a couple of picks, some supplementary players, yeah, go ahead and do that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that
Scoot, CJ, BI, and what's left of Zion, he's preoccupied.
Like the Pelicans would already be contenders. Like, I don't think that Scoot Henderson's like make or break for them. What's make or break for them is their two best players being available or not. Same thing with the Clippers. Like, let's not forget they were I believe they were the number 1 seed.
The Pelicans were the 2 or 3. They were up there.
Yeah, I mean, they were a top 3 seed in the West in December. Almost like, over a fourth of the way through. And then Zion went down and BI went down. Like, their problem is their two best players can never just stay healthy for an extended period of time. So, I mean, if you want to go after Scoot and you don't have to give up too much, great. Like, I'll be excited. You'll probably be really good. But until your best players can play 68 to 75 games and make it through a playoff run, I'm not really interested in what you do.
So we got another fan question from the homie Jabari. What do y'all think Miami needs to do going forward?
Another point guard. I mean, I think that's probably going to be the best move for them. You can either go the veteran route and Chris Paul, but like you said, you already got Lowry, so I don't know how great that's going to work. But Fred VanVleet, he's actually going to be looks like he's going to be in the free agent market, and so if you don't have to really pay too much to get him, that might be a good option here for the Heat to probably try to get. But they definitely need a point guard. I think that's probably going to be the one thing they need, and actually somebody that can actually take off the responsibilities of making plays for it. Well, at least some of the responsibility from Jimmy and Bam in the lower case here.
A couple more dudes that can make things easier for Jimmy Butler, and a couple of dudes that aren't undrafted, because I mean, let's be honest, they are getting everything out of them that they possibly can, in terms of development and everything like that. But at a certain point, you're gonna need another dude. Like they got by on the refund checks just about into the NBA finals, right? And then they got evicted, got ran up out the spot. They will need somebody else that can pick up this rent. Because they've been living, this is almost like, on Good Times, where James always didn't have no job. James was always getting fired. They was relying on all kinds of stuff. And side note, Florida Evans is the worst TV mother in history. Outside of Naaman's mama on The Wire. Every time James Evans fell up on a play, Florida made him give the money back. That man James found $20,000, and then Florida made him give the money back, acting like she was gonna leave him. He had to give back the 20 grand for a gift card.
Yeah, no. But I think we are. It all sounds like we're talking about that they need Damian Lillard. Like Lamar said, a point guard. Alex said somebody that can take the scoring load and make plays for themselves or others. I mean, Dame would be a name. I just think that they need like best available. Like, I mean, if you can just get like a high quality wing or even like a high quality big that can score on his own, like they just need another scoring punch. In my opinion, they could figure the rest. Clearly, they've shown that they could figure the rest out with 7 undrafted players playing. But when it comes down to it in games like this, like you got to have somebody else that can put the ball in the bucket. And so, I mean, if Damian Lillard is truly available and out there ready to be traded, you got to make a play for them if you're Miami, because you got to feel like we are one player away. We went to the finals this year. We were a game away from the finals last year, really one possession. And, we went to the finals in the bubble. Like, we're right on the cusp of something great, and we're just missing a couple of pieces, or maybe just one piece. And so you got to try and cash in if I'm the Miami Heat this summer.
A wing defender, because they need more dudes that can play defense, because you got Duncan Robinson and Tyler Hero cannot be on the floor at the same time, right? Like they have too many guys that are poor defenders. That's the other thing for me that is so glaring, and how on earth they've made it this far with a lack of NBA quality defenders is something to behold. And really, like I said, Eric Spoelstra making $1 out of 15 cents in terms of that. But again, at times like this, you're asking, the coach has to come up with all the answers when you have blatantly, obviously, roster deficiencies, right? Imagine how much more Eric Spoelstra could do with a really good wing, really good wing defender, a 3-and-D guy. That's really like a good 3-and-D guy. They're all right. Let's keep going through these questions and these comments. I would like to point out, guys, I don't know if it's just me. Did you guys feel like this was like a great final series to watch? Because in my eyes, this felt like one of the more competitive, ultimately, final series we've seen in a good minute.
I mean, I thought it was pretty good. I mean, you kind of knew that Denver was a better team, but Miami made some of the games, like I said earlier, especially down the stretch, it was entertaining. And you just saw guys like today, like Jimmy hits those back-to-back threes. I think between that, KCP hit a 3. Jokic gets a bucket. Like, they're going back and forth. But you look up, and that's what's always amazing to me. Like, the finals, like, we're in this era where the pace is, like, one of the highest all time. And the closeout game in the NBA final, one team scores 89 points. And so, I mean, obviously I've seen better. Like, we've seen better finals in our lifetime, but I don't think this is the worst one we've seen. Like, I feel like we've seen way worse in our lifetime as well.
The worst 3 I can think of, and it's crazy to say this, they all involve LeBron James. 07 against San Antonio, and it's not LeBron's fault. 07 against San Antonio, and 17 and 18 against the Warriors. Like, those were like, oh yeah, I'm barely, especially the last 2 against the Warriors, it was like, I don't know why we're even watching this. Like, we're hoping maybe LeBron steals one, and they would have stole one had J.R. Smith not been drunk.
I would say 07 against the Spurs, that finals against the Lakers and the Nets when they got swept. And probably, I think about that 05 series with the Spurs and the Pistons, and I just think the Pistons were just gassed. Like, the Spurs beat, and that was a good series because it went 7. But I really thought that the Pacers were the team that was going to be in the finals that year before the malice in the palace. I thought that they were the best team in the East that year, and that finals was rough. That finals was rough.
I mean, I think that was one of those. It was rough to watch. Like, have you ever gone back and watched like old NBA Final series? Like, cause I know I did during COVID when wasn't nothing on, so I'm up here watching hardwood classics and all kinds of stuff, and I'm watching that '98 Utah Chicago. And in one of those NBA Finals games, the Utah Jazz scored like 59 points.
Yeah, I
And I
think.
was like, Jesus, be a fence. This is awful.
Yeah, I'll even go ahead and say, I mean, I don't think, in a way, I know this wasn't a finals for a lot of casual fans and stuff like that. I know casual fans would have, like, really would have loved to see the Lakers and Celtics and stuff like that. In a way, it kind of was a little bit of like, all right, yeah, it's more aesthetically pleasing here to see a fresh face in the Nuggets and also see the Heat team in there too as well. But wasn't the entertaining finals? Not so much, but at least we got to see a coronation of, I guess, of Nikola Jokic. We got a chance to see him now in a bigger stage. And ironically, he does it at the anniversary that the Mavs won it with Dirk Nowitzki. So there's that.
I would want to ask this question to, I would say, the audience and to you too, Ken and Lamar. In terms of like playoff runs for a big man in the last like 20, 30 years, where do you place this one?
Oh, I mean, it's up there. It's up there. I mean, I kind of put, I think during the Lakers series or the Sun series that he was having a Dirk like run. And I put it up there with Dirk's, but I think I would probably still go with Dirk's run, even though Jokic kind of put up better numbers just because of who Dirk beat on the way there. Like he went through the Portland Trailblazers. They were the 6 seed, Brandon Roy and LaMarcus Aldridge. But then you beat the back-to-back champs, the Lakers. You swept them. You beat Oklahoma City, young KD, Russ, and Harden. And then you beat the Miami Heat with LeBron, D Wade, and Bosh. So Dirk's run is up there. This one is up there. I think last 20 years. So like that 03 Duncan run, I think is very impressive. And then let's see.
I was gonna say there's those three-peat Lakers with Shaq.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah. Okay, so if we're going past 20 years, okay, so yeah, we're going past 20 years. And the Hakeem back-to-backs are, legendary, especially the second one as a 6 seed, and the teams that they went through. I think they were down 3-1 to Barkley.
Mm-hmm.
And Phoenix came back and beat them. Beat the 60-win Spurs with David Robinson and Rodman, and then beat the Magic with Shaq and Penny. Then the Shaq runs. I mean, obviously, I'm averaging 30 in the finals. I think each of those 3 seasons. But that first year when he won his MVP and was in the best shape of his career, I think is the most impressive. Yeah, I think those are the ones that come to mind. Underrated one, 2020, Anthony Davis, coming back from the shutdown when he was actually not missing games and stayed healthy for most of that playoff run. He was really good that year, and I think that's about it as far as bigs that were the best players that won a championship. Dwight had a pretty good 09 run with the Magic, but yeah, I think that's about it.
Lamar, what you got?
I think it's up there with Dirk's and 11. Dirk's in 11. And Hakeem with his 2 back-to-backs. I think it's up there with those. It's just, again, I mean, a lot of people didn't, even after winning 2 MVPs, a lot of people still didn't really fully grasp and understand that everything about Jokic and everything else like that. And like I mentioned before, I mean, getting the chance to now see it on a grander stage. I mean, sure, we seen the game 3 where he was 30, 20, and 10, and he just made it look so effortless. Where it's just like, did this dude really just do this? And he did it. So, yeah, I think it's up there with those 3 for sure, honestly.
And I think the biggest thing about Jokic that I think as basketball observers that we have to appreciate is that even as the game has become more perimeter oriented, really since Jordan, you know what I mean? There is still nothing like some big 7-foot, 300-pound person putting their back on you and wearing you out, right? Like, no matter how good, the perimeter game is, and the perimeter game is extremely entertaining. There's a reason why if you see a 7-foot tall dude, odds are he's probably going pretty high in the doggone draft, a post, right? Because you don't make dudes like that who grow on trees. And just for me, given we're in the era where people shoot 30, 35 3-pointers a game, and the Nuggets do shoot 30 to 35 3-pointers a game, but the fulcrum of the entire operation is a 7-foot Serbian dude who looks like he gets in the pool with his shirt on and he barely gets his feet up off the ground. That guy is the best player on the planet. Him. You know what I'm saying? Like, that to me is, I want to use the word extraordinary, but in this NBA, with the greatest athletes that the league has ever had, he the man. And I think we got to give him that.
For sure.
Going to some more fan questions and fan comments. The Nuggets beat them boys like Mayweather beat Gotti the third. Hey, look. Here's how you know I'm old, right? And I remember watching boxing when I was much younger. Roy Jones and them boys was out there. I heard the last name Gotti, and I was like, didn't Floyd Mayweather fight Arturo Gotti in like 05 or 06?
Mm-hmm.
Then I was like, wait, ain't Arturo Gotti dead? Like, that was my first thought. They're like, oh no, John Gotti the third. I said, oh, Floyd must be out here just taking people's money in these exhibitions like he's been doing for the last decade. And bruh, that looked like something out of Love and Hip Hop. Bro, the referee called the fight, that's it, and then Gotti's like, nah, move.
I'm not done yet.
I got some more left in me.
I'm like, oh my God. So yes, we got another question, and I'll swing this to you, Kennedy Miller, our resident LeBron James expert. Bron coming back next year.
Yeah, he's coming back. He probably needs surgery on his foot, so hopefully he gets that pretty soon, so he's there by the start of training camp. But I think everything is just like smoke and mirrors. He wants them to try and improve the roster. I believe that he'll be back for next season and one last push, because I think after this next season he should be done. He should just be done, because I don't know if he can, at this point in his career, maintain an 82-game season and a playoff run if they're good enough to go to the playoffs. So,
I mean, he has been able to maintain 82 games since he got there, since he got to Los Angeles. And it's always been one of those things where it's like, I think it's like a lot of miles on the tires. We've all driven an old car before. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like alternator kind of shaky. Sometimes it's kind of hard to, get the car started. Sometimes hard, that window won't roll down no more or won't roll back up no more. And that's what it's kind of been with LeBron. Funny, groin is acting kind of funny. Tweak the knee, things like that. But I tell you what, if he can avoid, I want to say a major injury, I don't want him to go out like Kobe.
No,
right?
Sure.
Kobe blew that Achilles, and people say Kobe Bryant retired in
2016.
April of 2016. Kobe Bryant's career was over April 2013. It was over.
Mm-hmm.
That was somebody else inhabiting Kobe Bryant's body, because I never thought I'd see the day where Kobe Bryant would just be cool losing 65 games and smiling all the way through it. Like, I don't want to see LeBron go out like that. You know,
Right.
we don't nobody want to see Hakeem Olajuwon play for Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like that. So, but my thing is, if he's seriously considering retirement, and I don't think he really is, I think LeBron just wants some attention.
Yep.
If he's seriously considering retirement, do it. Because it's not going to get any better from here.
No, I mean that's real. I think, the first year he comes to LA, they have the 4th seed at Christmas. He messes up his groin, misses close to 2 months. The next season, that's when they get Anthony Davis. Yeah. That's the healthiest season that he's had. And, they go to the bubble, they win a championship. Then, the season starts pretty quick. Then the Solomon Hill incident happened. We were the number 2 seed and looking to repeat. And the Solomon Hill incident happens. And I think they fell all the way to the play-in, beat the Warriors, and then lose to Phoenix in the first round. And then last year, obviously they make those trades and get Russell Westbrook. And then is it knee or the foot? Something, but he missed a couple games here and there. But after that Solomon Hill incident, his lower extremities have never fully been right. Like, he always ends up like tweaking them. And then this year, with the foot and everything that he needs to have surgery on. So, like I said, I don't know if he can hold up anymore. Like he used to be, like the Iron Man of the league. And if he can probably play 68 to 70 games, that's a major win. That's a major win.
You asking for a lot.
That's what I'm saying. That would be like a major win. Now, if he plays like 60 to 65, that's ideal. But your other best player has to play around the same as well, or then you have no chance.
I think that's fair. So we got another fan question. We got some more fan questions and comments. Shout out to y'all. My man Stone, Kyrie to Houston if the Rockets strike out on James Harden. Hey, man, the one person who we do not need in the city of Houston is Kyrie Irving. Because who will be more happy about that? Quan Alex.
I haven't heard that name in a long time.
Hey, man, look. This is the wrong place for Kyrie Irving, Houston. They need to turn him away at the door like it's customs. Okay.
Yeah.
Y'all imagine the Udoka dealing with him? Well, he did already deal with him, I think.
No.
As an assistant.
Yeah.
He did. I'm not gonna make my email jokes. I've made them already. The Houston Rockets really need. I don't think they need a guy like a Kyrie Irving. They just need, they need their young players to develop, and a better coach. And I know Ime Udoka is a better coach than Steven Silas. It's just, can you get more out of Jalen Green and Kevin Porter and what's the big dude?
Sengun.
Yeah, I'll be saying Seguin.
Yeah, I don't think I just don't think he fits their timeline, like age-wise. Like, I don't get that. I don't get what is he? What is Kyrie, 31?
31. I think Kyrie's still in his prime. The problem is,
and he's a hell of a talent. Like, but I just think you have this young core, and I think they're going in the right direction. Like you said, like they hired a good coach. I just feel like, and they're right in approaching it. Like, now we need to actually try and get people that can help us win now. I just don't think Kyrie is the answer for that. You can get like Jaylen Brown we talked about. I think Jaylen Brown would be good for them if they're able to pull that off. I don't think Dylan Brooks will be good with him, but it would actually be interesting though, because he's not old and he's not going to be a star player. He's going to fit into a role where you've already drafted some guys that are supposed to be your stars, like Jalen Green, and Sengun is looking to be in that mold. But not. I don't see the Kyrie. I don't see the Kyrie fit.
But as you mentioned it, Kyrie Irving doesn't fit their timeline because of age and other things. That makes the James Harden thing even more mystifying.
Yeah, no, and I don't think James Harden. I don't think James Harden does either. Now, if you're going to tell me that he's just going to sit back and just be like a traditional point guard and just defer to these young guys and try and get them in the best possible spots, sure. But how much money am I paying you to defer? Because what rumors are is he wants, the 200 mil to bring but you're not worth that anymore. Still a good player. You're probably a top 40 player now, maybe. But
fair.
I can't pay you that much money and only get that much production. So I completely agree with you. I don't see the Kyrie or the James Harden fit for them. I would be more inclined to just run it back with that young core and whoever they draft with the 4th pick, and then see what I have in the next offseason to help us improve than those two options.
So we got another fan comment. Maya said Floyd Mayweather really doesn't know how to be a grandfather. He should be reading The Cat in the Hat to his grandkids, not fighting folks.
The Cat in the Hat.
Hey, that 50 Cent thing, we're going to have an ALS, ESL challenge, Floyd. Hey, who do you think it would take longer to read a podcast ad? Floyd Mayweather, Fantasia, or who do you think it would take longer to read a podcast ad?
I thought you was gonna say Webby. Welcome to the Breakfast Club with Angela Gee and Charlotte McGay. Y'all got some names on y'all.
Well, I know if it's Fantasia, she gonna be hollering at the during the ads. It's like, damn, come on, man. We just trying to have a chill session right here. We just try to have a chill session.
Boy, I know if Fantasia recording session, I'd be in there with earplugs and just tears. Like, can you stop hollering, please? Please. Like, do you have to holler everything? And for Fantasia, the answer is yes.
The answer is yes.
I keep on thinking about with Floyd and all that stuff being, trying to be a grandfather. I just keep on remembering, I guess, his daughter, Ayanna. I mean, and all that stuff, and the whole NBA YoungBoys type stuff there, and that's a mess already. But
boy, that's a match made in hood hell. That's what that is right there. It's like, what? Yeah, and don't young boy got like a basketball team's worth of kids?
I think so.
Yeah,
I will never forget just watching the YouTube of that song that he had, Dirty Ayanna, and then she's like on the table and just like stomping, as say she slashed the tires of my car and all that, and I'm like, yeah, you did it. You did it.
My God. Before we descend into that same sort of ignorance that you, Lamar Gafford, just described, we're going to cut this show short. That, folks, has been another episode of the GamePlan podcast live stream. We appreciate you guys for hanging out with the squad through these playoffs. I think we've done 10, 11 live streams during this playoff run, Kennedy Miller. We've done a good bit.
Yes, we have.
And we appreciate you guys for hanging out with the squad, tapping in with us on our YouTube channel, wherever you've been watching the show. Kennedy Miller, you want to tell the folks about our summer programming plans?
We'll be watching Tyler Perry movies, so please tune in. We will be doing some Tyler Perry rewatches. Some of the movies, but not all included, possibly, are Diary of a Mad Black Woman.
That's a definite. We have to.
Medea's Family Reunion, and Why Did I Get Married? So stay tuned, okay? Because you don't want to be the cow that jumped over the moon.
He said, "Who told you to put that on?" Trina said you'd like this. Trina lied.
Every time I watch that movie, I find something else funny. I'll never... when Marcus started choking Angela at the table, this man Mike in the background saying, "Whoa, touchdown!"
Hey man, and like I said, Meet the Browns. That's another one with way too much going on.
Oh yeah,
way too much going on. We're gonna have to do this in pieces. So y'all let us know what Tyler Perry movies or content y'all want us to watch. There's a couple shows that are like no-goes for me. I don't want to watch Acrimony ever again.
Oh yeah. Forgot about that one.
Like they play that movie for people in Guantanamo Bay to try to get them to confess to war crimes. Okay. They up for 3-4 days standing up. They ain't ate. They ain't been able to use the bathroom, and they just got Acrimony on the TV on a loop. But folks, like I said, that is for our summer programming. We could be talking about boxing. We could be talking about baseball. But y'all, this ain't why y'all here. Y'all here for some foolishness. Y'all here for some fun. So this summer, we're gonna give y'all some fun. Okay. Diary of a Mad Black Woman, Meet the Browns, Family Reunion.
Yep.
That's one with Blair Underwood, right?
Yep.
Okay. And if there's some other talent, we might have to end up doing two episodes of this. But this is gonna be fun.
For sure.
But as we get up out of here, Kennedy Miller, tell the folks where they can find you on Twitter, Instagram, all that.
Find me on Twitter _Kennedy Miller _. Find me on Instagram _Kennedy Miller __. 2 underscores at the end.
Lamar Gafford.
All right, you can find me on Twitter at Lamar Gafford. That's all in one word, at Lamar Gafford. And you can also find me on Instagram at primetime2832. You can also find me on sinlabpreps.com. We got some stuff coming up, and I'm taking suggestions as far as what to binge watch during the summer because we have nothing else to watch right now.
Hey man, maybe you can try. You watch Snowfall yet, Lamar? I'm just about to get in.
I haven't watched it yet. I need to watch
it.
that. I need to watch that, and I also need to watch Abbott Elementary. So I'm thinking that's gonna be some things I need to watch.
You haven't watched what?
Abbott Elementary.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I gotta finish that too.
Abbott is tough. My man Dante said, "Just don't do For Color Girls." Absolutely not.
Oh God.
No.
Oh no. We're not touching that.
That's too much. Okay.
we not. I forgot we were live for a second. I was about to recite a line from the movie. We would have already lost our jobs.
Oh man. But you guys can follow me on Twitter at Alex Goodwin TSM. That is at Alex TSM. That is T as in tacos, S as in Sarah, M as in Mabel, like Mabel Medea Simmons. Don't forget, folks, follow the show on our official Instagram page at _the Game Plan Podcast. Again, on Instagram at _ the Game Plan Podcast. Like, share, subscribe to the show's YouTube channel, and always tell 10 friends to tell 10 more friends to tell 10 more friends about the Game Plan Podcast. That is a lot of folks I need to tell. But wherever you're listening and however you're listening, we appreciate you guys for listening and watching. For Kennedy Miller and Lamar Gafford, my name is Alex Goodwin. This has been the Game Plan Podcast live stream. We will see you guys next time. You guys take a light.